The truth about trolls. Deep beneath the murky mist, they lurk among the slugs and slime, slyly gazing from 'neath rough roots, biding for the blackest time, ready to trick and play in the darkness of their day, slinking and spying with glistening eyes, donning flora and moss as a right disguise. Listen carefully, and you'll hear mischief and music, for they're quite near. Hello, 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 everyone. This is Kathy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm here with part 2 of my magical troll journal, and today I'll be completing most of the cover, assembling the signatures, and I think that's all we'll have time for. First thing I'm going to do is I have a paper bag. This is going to serve as the cover for my cover. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to wet this. Some of you have seen this technique before. I want it to look kind of crumpled and old. So I'm adding water. I'm going to crumple it up. So I can get some wrinkles in here. And this is just a dish towel that I use in my craft room when I'm doing wet stuff. If it needs more water, I can just add more. But I think this will be enough. And wherever there are places that I want more wrinkles, I simply can do that. Like this. Add a little more. And open it up. And I'm going to add a little bit of color to it. And I'm going to take an iron, I'm going to flatten it out a bit. Ouch. Whew. It's hotter than I thought. Let me turn it down. There we go. This is one of the Cricut, the mini iron or the mini press. I have this, and I also have a regular mini iron. I like this. Just works for me a little better. It heats up more. And I don't like the way the stain came out, so that's going to be the inside of the cover. And next thing I'm going to do is take some other colors, and I want to give it a rather mossy look, kind of wet, grassy, mossy look. I'm going to start with crushed olive. And I'm just going to go very lightly over the top. so I can pick up the wrinkles. Okay, that's giving us a nice undercoat. I'm going to try a little brighter green in some places. I actually like this. I'm going to go all over. This gives me kind of the wet ground look. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of red in here and there. Now I'm going to add gathered twig. That gives me a little brown. And a little scorched timber. And I'm pressing a little harder on this because I really want it to look like the ground. I'm going to go back in and add back some of the green that I just covered up. Actually, I'm going to dry it. And back in with some green. That doesn't even show up, so let me use the darker green. Shows up a little. Okay, go over it again. move this. Next thing, I'm going to set this aside for a moment. I'm going to take out the craft board that I'm going to make the cover with. And this is a 1.5 inch spine. And this is going to measure, let's see. This is about 8 inches tall and about 5.5, 5 3/4 wide. And I'm actually going to use book tape. Put this together. Before I do that, I'll use some washi tape. I think I have some washi tape, excuse me for my arm. And I'm going to put the spine about 1/8 of an inch away from the cover in the back. And add a little piece of tape to keep it in place. And that's bigger. There we go. Just like that. I'll take the book tape. I'm going to turn it this way. It's just easier for me. And I'm going to add the book tape so that it covers the openings. And I get my book tape from Amazon. It's not cheap, but I love it. It's very strong and makes a good hold on your what's this called? On your binding in your book. And it's pretty flexible. I can take it up and fix the wrinkles so they aren't as apparent. And I'm going to put one more piece just right down the center. Whoop. Just like that. Make sure that's nice and strong. Get that wrinkle out if I can. That's okay. Now I'm going to put down some double-sided tape on the front. Actually, I'm going to put it right over. Okay. And one more piece this way. Okay, and this is going to go on top of that. Okay. So we're going to put this right here. Going to ease it up. Now I'm going to trim this. I always like to leave about an inch. And here. And here. And let's trim the edges. I do like a semicircle. And I'd like to get it ready to fold. Also like to trim, just take a sliver out directly below the spine, the fold in the spine. You don't have to do this part. I just find it lays a little better. More double-sided tape. Whoops. I had a leftover piece here. Make sure it's down. And I need 2 pieces here. And here. Okay, let's start with the top. Pulling it tightly. And the corners, making sure there's nothing exposed or the corners are tucked in. Okay, that's our cover so far. So I want to add the inside covers. I want the tops to match up. I'm going to put some double-sided tape on here as well, especially for this paper, this specialty paper. It soaks up the glue, so double-sided tape on here usually works better. That's all I've got. Yeah, I have to order some of the 1 inch. And excuse me. Let me grab a piece of gum, that'll help. Okie doke. Those of you who have trouble taking your double-sided tape off, you got to get one of these. I got this at scrapbook.com. It's made it so much easier. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. I match it up to the top. Okay. Next, before I work on the cover anymore, I'm going to add the signatures. Now I've already grouped the papers into signatures. I think this will be the first signature. And I love these papers. And the way I do my papers is I group different paper types together. So I have a pile of the scrapbook paper. I have a pile of specialty papers. So for example, this I printed on tracing paper. Then I have a pile of this. This is a coffee dyed lace paper. This is made by Vintage Style Snippets. Then, let's see. I'll have some odd pieces like this envelope, a colored piece of paper, some journal paper. I did, figure out which one I want to be for the center. So I group those together, and then I pick and choose for each. So I know that I'm going to have more printed paper than the specialty paper. So a signature might have 1 or 2 pieces of tracing paper, 1 or 2 coffee dyed papers, 1 or 2 envelopes, and other papers. And I do that for both. So they don't come out exactly the same, but they're similar. And in each signature I put about, depending on how large the journal is, if it's a 2-signature journal, I put about 15 to 20 papers in each signature. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a hidden spine in here. And let me get... Okay. And all the hidden spine means is... Let me find it. I'm going to take a piece of whatever I figure will go under, create the hidden spine, and I'm going to use the same paper as is in the back. And I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to cut that to the same size as the journal, and what did we say? We said it was 7 inches, I believe. Oh, nope, it's 8 inches. So I'm going to make it a little under 8 inches. 7 3/4, let's say. I'm going to cut it like that. And I don't need it quite so wide, so I can cut off this kind of piece here. I want it to be wider than the actual spine, which is 1.5 inches. I want to find the center. I'm going to do that by folding it. Just like that. And then I'm going to measure off let's see, 3/4 of an inch from the center. On both sides. What I want to do is make sure that I don't go over that. So I'm going to fold it back on itself. And the same thing over here. And I want to double check it and make sure it fits into my spine. And that will be fine. I'm going to take my signatures. I'm going to do some hole poking. I'm going to use this as a guide. And I'm going to poke a hole here on one side for one signature, directly across from the other side for the other signature. I'm going to do a pamphlet stitch. Oh, I do want to fold it in half this way so I can put the hole in the center. And as you can see, I don't measure stuff, which may be to my detriment sometimes, but I'm pretty lucky. One here. And one here. And one down here. And one over here. I'm going to cut this off. And I want this to be the same size, my guide, So I'm going to start with this one. I want to designate which is the top. One, two, three, and I'm going to go ahead and sew that in. Turn this over. We're going to go down through the center. Then the center on this side. Oh, sorry for the mess here. The mess got away from me. So down through the center, we're going to go up through the top. Down through the bottom. Back up through the center. Okay, let's go searching for the needle. Okay. Where'd you go? Go on the opposite side of the center string. What I've done is I've pierced the thread by accident. You know, I kind of went through the other piece, but not to worry. Okay, that's one down. Okay, now we're going to go on this side, make holes for the other signature. So I'm going to do that here first. And I'm going to fold it right at the holes so I can put that into the center. And now I should have clipped it. I didn't. It would make it easier, but I have a whole thing of clips somewhere. My craft space is a little unruly, so I don't know what hook I hooked them to. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. We're going to go down through the center, hopefully. Come on. Whoops. Up through the top. Oh, my dog just won't stop barking whenever I videotape. It's making me crazy when he hears me talk. Okay. Down through the bottom. And back up through the middle. There we go. I want to make sure that's tight. Okay. Let me see if I can untangle this one. Okay, signatures are in. They look pretty straight. Now I'm going to attach the hidden spine to the cover. And I'm going to do that with double-sided tape. Put this away. Whoops. And I'm also going to add some glue. Okay. And what I want to make sure is that this goes in evenly, that the signatures are done evenly into the spine. And I usually leave that much room, about a ½ inch between the spines, between the signatures, so that when they get filled up, they have room to grow. Okay. So next, this still needs to be under a heavy book, but I'm going to put on the cover that we worked on in the first episode. I added a little bit more. I added another frame for it. So this is going to go here. And this is going to go over it. And I'm going to put this on with glue. So we're going to put the first layer on first. This layer on next. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. So the next thing I've done, I'm going to start a little bit today, is I've created a story, or a little story about the gnomes. And I'm going to put that here. It's the truth about gnomes, trolls, the truth about trolls. Deep beneath the murky mist, They lurk among the slugs and slime, slyly gazing from 'neath rough roots, biding for the blackest time, ready to trick and play in the darkness of their day, slinking and spying with glistening eyes, donning flora and moss as a right disguise. Listen carefully and you'll hear mischief and music, for they're quite near. I'm going to put that there. I don't know if I'm going to put something behind it. Maybe this. Let me see. Let me just get rid of the white edges. Okay, so first we'll put this one down. Then I'm going to take a little moss, and this is, I get this at Joann's in the floral section. I'm going to take a little bit out, not too much. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to attach the moss to the back of this. Let's see. I think I need some big guns. Where's my big bottle of glue? I know it's right in front of me. I just can't see it. Pardon me. But that's going to go here. Like that. Excuse me. Here it is. I'm going to put a lot. Okay. Oh, look at that. White edges. We don't like those white edges. Okay, I like that. I might have to trim it again, but so far so good. Put it under this. Smash it down a bit. And I think that's all we have time for today. I can't wait to start decorating and figure out what kind of closure I'm going to use. I like the way it came out. It looks like the ground. And then it shows us into a beautiful world of the trolls. And I'll list where I got the papers from. They're beautiful. Some of them are watercolor trolls that I printed like these. They're so pretty. And the next thing I'm working on is the identification cards for the trolls. I have one done. I think I'll have 6 of them. And I want to figure out a way to put them in a cascading manner. So maybe in between the signatures. But that's what we'll work on next time. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy it and are following along. And I'd appreciate it if you give me a like. And I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot. And you all have a great one. Bye.